All right, we're here with our good friend Dan Fleuette, who I haven't seen in years since I was interning at Breitbart. He was my former colleague at Breitbart, so great to see you here, Dan, at Turning Point USA's AmericaFest.
It's so awesome to see you again and to be here, and look at you, how far you've come in just these couple years. It's amazing.
And so you've been a longtime producer for Steve Bannon, and you're out with this brand new book, Rogues, Rebels, and Outlaws.
Yes.
Can you kind of talk to us about the context of the book and how it came about?
Yeah, sure. So like you said, I've been working with Steve Bannon for roughly 20 years, a little bit over actually. And we started off doing documentaries, and that's what we do. And that's probably how you knew me. We were doing we did a lot of stuff with Andrew back in around 2012 and even a little bit before. He was in one of our first films together. Generation Zero. Actually, he did like 3 hours of interviews for that film, so we started up the War Room back in 2019, the late stages of 2019, and I saw very quickly, there's all these really incredible guests were coming through the studio. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to grab portraits just for fun? And when we're done, we'll put them up on the wall, kind of salon style. And a lot of them were very gracious enough to sit with me in my sort of salad days as I tried to lock in on my style and everything. But once I did, it all came together pretty rapidly. After a little bit of time, it wasn't that much, I started to amass a kind of pretty big body of work. And I thought there was something a little more important here, and I approached Tony Lyons at Skyhorse Publishing, and we discussed maybe putting a book or some other thing together, and it just sort of organically grew from that, and now you see it just came out, funny enough, on the day that Steve Bannon was released from prison. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And it's 90 spreads of all kinds of individuals, everyone from Bobby Kennedy to Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson and some of the big names in conservative media, and a lot of the COVID doctors, Dr. Malone and Naomi Wolf and those sorts of people, and then you have your Cernovich, but it was just a ton of interesting, really great people that came through, and I had the honor of shooting, and I tried to do the best that I could to represent who they were to me, also not just in the photography but also in the writing. And in this book you won't see any bios or anything, but you'll see my kind of interpretation of our relationship, or we'll talk about angels and demons and God, or we'll talk about art, or we'll talk about the things wide open what we talk about, and it's just my take about who I think they are, both visually and in the writing, and I'm quite proud of it. It turned out, I think, amazing, and I'm incredibly grateful for everyone who took part.
And Dan, the great Andrew Breitbart always said politics is downstream from
Absolutely.
culture, and here you are making content. How important is it for conservatives to create culture and create that from the top of the stream?
It's incredibly important. One of the best compliments I've ever gotten on this book was when Steve Bannon told me that just what you said, that it's downstream from culture, and that Andrew would be proud of me. And that means a lot to me. I had a lot of respect for Andrew. I worked with him quite closely on a number of projects, and I got to know him very well. And to this day, he's dearly missed. But as he said, it's incredibly important to do culture, and what I tried to do in this book is not create right-wing culture or right-wing art. I tried to create art, and it's art from my perspective, and I'm entitled to my perspective, and everybody out there is entitled to their perspective. So I don't think that there should be left-wing and right-wing art. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in that world, and this is my kind of response to that, and it's I'm just going to make art. And it's up to the people to decide where it lands, and that's the way that I want it to be seen. I don't want it to be a conservative piece of work. I want it to stand on its own as just a piece of art. But that's not going to happen. That's a fairy tale world. It's not going to happen until more and more people engage on that level. It's just like the taking over of culture. It's taking over of media. It's not a matter of like my side's right or my side's wrong. It's about in life there's truth, and when you search for the truth, you'll hit bumps, but you're gonna find some truth along the way. And I think that's important for everyone, not just to consume, but also to create in whatever form, fashion that they can. So this is my small contribution to that, and I hope other people would take part in it as well.